Welcome back. A new survey showing a majority of Canadians think that boycotting American-made goods or travel to the U.S. is helpful. According to a new Nanos research poll, 4 out of 5 Canadians say that boycotting American-made stuff or avoiding tourism to the United States altogether will strengthen our country's bargaining position in the ongoing trade war launched by President Trump. Fewer than 1 in 5, or just 18%, think it's not helpful or somewhat helpful. Let's show you the breakdown in age as well. Older Canadians more likely to support the idea. 85% of Canadians 55 and older agree. 74% of Canadians 35 to 54 agree as well. Nick Nanos is standing by with more on this, and good to see you, Nick. Your takeaways?
If you poke a bear, they might strike back. And maybe that's the key takeaway. You know, the fact of the matter is for many Canadians, there's not much that they can do on an individual basis except boycotting, avoiding buying U.S. goods, or avoiding or delaying travel to the United States. And it looks like a significant proportion of Canadians not only are doing that, but believe that it is helpful or somewhat helpful. And, you know, that 80%, that's not just any kind of majority. That's like almost like a super majority. You know, when you think of the 54% of people that think that it's outright helpful and another 26. So it's a pretty big swath of Canadians that believe that voting with their dollars and voting with where they go on vacation or where they do their trips helps Canada in its own little way collectively.
Well, I know many of us, Nick, are looking at, products at the grocery store and deciding not to go to the United States, picking other destinations as well. Small things, perhaps, on an individual basis, as you point out, though. Bigger picture, it does have an effect. We're already starting to see that. There are places in the U.S. that rely on Canadian tourists, and they are sending up red flags and have been for months now, saying, this is having a big impact. What does it mean, do you think, for the government when they look at a poll like this?
Well, I think what it means for the government is that a buy Canadian strategy, whether it's you're procuring software or buying things, would actually have a lot of traction right now. And, the thing is that it's also probably a way for the federal government to help mobilize some of these border states that are more reliant on Canadians as consumers and Canadians as customers in order to get them to advocate on behalf of stable and secure trade relations between Canada and the United States. So I think this is, this is a clear signal to the government that there are some opportunities not only for their procurement, but also to help mobilize Americans who understand that Canadian customers are important to them, and that when Canadians decide not to visit the United States, that it's not good for the U.S. economy.
What do you make of the breakdown in terms of age, where older Canadians are more in favor of this sort of thing? Nick, what's going on there?
Yeah, a little higher intensity. About 85% of Canadians over 55 are good with or think that this is helpful to one extent or another, compared to younger people. The other thing, Todd, there's a bit of a regional divide. If you happen to live in Atlantic Canada or Quebec, you're much more likely to think that it's helpful. But if you get in Ontario, the prairies in British Columbia, the numbers are a little lower on that front. But doesn't matter how you cut it, Todd. It's a pretty comfortable majority by age, by gender, by region that think to one extent or another it's helpful when Canadians avoid buying U.S. goods or traveling to the U.S. It's helpful when it comes to the discussions that we're having with the U.S. administration.
Hey, Nick Nanos with us. Good to see you, Nick, as always. Appreciate your time today.
Take it easy.